Hey everyone, Sky here to discuss The Last Airbender, starring Noah Ringer, Nicola Peltz, Dev Patel, Jackson Rathbone, Sean Toob, Asif Mandavi, forgive me if I said that wrong, and Cliff Curtis, and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. Now, before I get into this review, I'm going to just say right now, I'm going to bring in a friend of mine. I'm not going to say who it is, but there's a guy I went to see this movie with the second time, and apparently he shouted some things in the theater that they totally messed up on. But I'm not going to say what it is until we get there, so let's just get into it. Let's get into the movie. We start the movie off with the Benders are like water, earth, fire, and air powers, which is the only thing I liked about this movie. But then there's a thing that says book 1, like there will be a sequel, and I thought, give me a break. The water bending effects look really bad. As a matter of fact, all of the effects look so badly poor. The siblings, Katara and Sokka, forgive me, I don't even know what his name is on the TV show, but finds a guy and a big chunk of ice and find Aang, played by Noah Ringer, aka The Last Airbender, and Waterbender Katara is played by Nicola Peltz, and Sokka is played by Jackson Rathbone. And the reason I'm going to call him The Last Airbender Aang is because that's what the TV show calls him, and M. Night messed that up so badly it makes me sick. Prince Zuko, played by star of Slumdog Millionaire Dev Patel, at first kidnaps the elderly, but instead captures Aang. But Katara and Sokka can't accept that because since they found Aang, he's their responsibility. The problem I'm having with M. Night's vision is the Water Nation is white, and same with the other characters, like Earth Bending is like Asians or something like that, and the dark skinned characters are firebenders. Isn't that a tad bit racist? And also, from what I've heard, any of the characters, anyone can be an airbender, and M. Night takes a poop on the material of the TV show with this pile of crap. And I can't explain the plot of this movie without making no stinking sense whatsoever. Another thing I remember from my theater experience is whenever they call Aang Ong, he shouted in the theater, "It's Aang!" And he was super upset by the changing of the character names, which I will admit, that was a terrible thing for M. Night to do. He was super upset by the changing of the character names, and whenever they messed up the title compared to James Cameron's Avatar, he said that this movie should have been titled Avatar. Another problem with this is they say Avatar like Avatar, and that bugged me half to death. I mean, seriously, that really bugged me. Aang escapes the firebenders and goes back to his original home to only see it was destroyed, and next thing you know, they get arrested by a village where bending is forbidden, and they fight with a bunch of firebenders with Katara and Sokka with earthbenders, and the choreography in that scene is painfully bad, with the worst special effects ever. Prince Zuko is banished from his home with the firebenders and gets beat up by his little sister. Is probably the stupidest plot hole throughout this entire movie. And then there's plenty of them, like the dragon Aang talks to. Like, what is that dragon anyways? I know it's called the spirit dragon, but seriously, what is that thing? What does it look like? I've never seen the TV show, and I might see it eventually, but it's not making sense to me. And also, why is Prince Zuko disguised as a ninja warrior fighting with Aang against his own nation? Was a rather a bizarre choice, I must say. In the land of the water tribe, and Sokka is in love with the princess. And Aang gets taught by the headmaster, and Katara trains to become a better waterbender. And this movie, for me, is dragging to the point they should have left the TV show alone, honestly. The Fire Nation comes to the land of water, and to start a war with the waterbenders. And how stupid are the firebenders? They're powerless. They're probably the weakest benders, and they start a war. That makes no sense whatsoever. Meanwhile, Katara fights Prince Zuko with their powers, which, what a terrible battle. Just like Aang versus Prince Zuko, with, again, terrible effects. Then the firebenders take over the land of water, and the moon then Aang stops the firebenders' battleships from taking over the world with a wave of water, which was pathetic. This whole movie is pathetic. The last scene is Prince Zuko's sister is getting prepared to fight Aang, the Avatar, in a not going to happen sequel, and I just don't care anymore. Now it's time for the rating. I'll give this movie a 1.1 out of 10. Out of any of the other movies I reviewed for this, plus this series and other series, this is one of the worst. I'll get to the absolute worst before we lead to Split and Glass. We've got 2 more to go. Which one will it be, folks? But this story makes absolutely no sense, and a lot of the material on the TV show is ruined by this movie. This either should have never been made or done as the TV show did. So I'd like to thank you guys for joining me, and next week I will be back with After Earth. And until next time, Firebend on End Night.